Hey guys, Richard here with CRG Games, and I've got another Commander deck for you. So this is another buddy's deck. This is Kinnan Bonder Prodigy. I would say this deck is also pretty strong. It has the tendency to be able to go off very early in the game, maybe turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, in that range. And it does rely on infinite combos to pull out creatures from your deck, get infinite mana, and then use that with Walking Ballista to end the game. So it is a very strong deck. The price on this is roughly $400. So let's get into it, and I'll show you what makes this deck work. We're going to start off with our commander, Kinnan Bonder Prodigy, and what Kinnan says is whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. So essentially you're going to be creating an additional mana when you tap one of those non-land permanents for mana. Then you can pay 7 to look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a non-human creature card from among them onto the battlefield, and you put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Now that's key because they don't go in a graveyard. So if you've got enough mana, you can just keep doing that and then pull everything out onto the battlefield. So we do have our lands here. There are 33 total lands. We pull out the basics starting out. We've got a Simic Guildgate here. This is from Dragon's Maze, actually. You got Portent. This is from Ice Age. You can look at the top 3 cards of target player's library, then either shuffle their library or put those 3 cards on top in any order. Then you draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. For 1 mana at sorcery speed, that's a pretty good card. Then we've got an Arcane Signet for a mana rock. You've got a Soul Ring, a Mental Misstep from New Phyrexia. Days, this is Eternal Masters in foil. You got a Rex Sage, Instill Energy. You saw this in the Sigarda deck. This is a good card, so you'll probably see it some more in the future as well. You've got a Lightning Greaves, Freed from the Real, Birds of Paradise, of course. And you've got Serum Visions, Abundance, and Nature's Claim. There's a lot of ramp in this deck because you need to get that mana out early. So you can start using Kinnan's ability. There's your Walking Ballista, a Basalt Monolith, got an Index, Farseek. There are multiple cards in this deck, such as Index, that will allow you to set yourself up for the win as well. Got a Command Tower and Eternal Witness, Kruphix's Insight, Artisan of Kozilek, Swan Song, of course, because you need to have counterspells and removal. Nice Ornithopter of Paradise, Breeding Pool, Robe of Mirrors. This one's a pretty cool card. You can just put this on Kinnan. That way people can't target it. Got long-term plans and a Capsize, Ponder, Worldly Tutor, Paradise Druid. So you'll notice there's a lot of non-land permanents that tap for mana in this deck. Got to pack the negation there. Marrowleaf Pixie. I like this one. It's from Throne of Eldraine. Hinterland Harbor. Got a Spell Burst, more counter spells. Diplomatic Immunity, one of my all-time favorite cards. Enchanted creature can't be the target of spells or abilities, and Diplomatic Immunity can't be the target of spells or abilities. So when you put this onto a creature, you need to make sure it is the one that you want it to be on, because you can't target Diplomatic Immunity afterwards. You've got a Drift of Phantasms and Botanical Sanctum. Quirion Elves, very nice. Gretchen Titchwillow, she's from AFR. Darksteel Ingot, Whispers of the Muse with buyback. Alpha Authority from Gatecrash, it's a great one. Temple of Mystery. Spy Network. Also one of my favorite cards, Spy Network for 1 mana at instant speed. This thing just has so much value to it. You get to look at the target player's hand, the top card of their library, any face-down creatures, look at the top 4 cards of your library, and then put them back in any order for 1 blue at instant speed. Great, great card. I've got a couple of those in foil, and I'm probably going to pick up more of those just because they're really nice. Destiny Spinner from Theros Beyond Death. You got a Mind Games. As you can see, my buddy's a big fan of things with buyback. You got Gyre Engineer and Commune with the Gods. If you've got enough excuse me, if you've got enough mana, it makes sense to run things with buyback. That way you can play them again. You got Telepathy, Llanowar Elves, Misty Rainforest, Exotic Orchard, and a Sanctum Weaver. Then you've got a Paradise Mantle, Simic Growth Chamber, more counter spells. You got Dispel there, Staff of Domination. If you've got infinite mana, you can use all of these abilities as much as you want. Brainstorm. Nice Colossus of Akros. This is a big, big defender, and because he has 10/10, he's really cool. But with the infinite mana, you're going to use the Monstrosity 10. He's going to become a 20/20, and then you can attack with him. Rejuvenating Springs and Sleight of Hand. Elvish Mystic. Nice Spell Pierce there. Mystic Remora. This is the original Ice Age printing. A Counterspell from Revised. Got an Oko, Borderless. Oko is just a troll card. I like him. He's in the right colors. He's in green-blue, which is my favorite. But Oko, honestly, like this guy, he's just tough. He's just tough to deal with, especially when he starts turning stuff to Elks. Got a nice Rampant Growth there. A Thassa's Oracle. Thrasios Triton Hero. This is Commander 2016. Thrasios is always a great one. Got Sylvan Caryatid. I think my buddy's probably going to be running Sylvan Caryatid in every green deck, just because being a defender with hexproof and tapping for 1 mana of any color for 2 is it's a normal play that you would do after you do Birds of Paradise turn 1. You'd put Sylvan Caryatid out turn 2. You got Penman's Aura. Penman's Aura is one of the cards that makes this whole thing tick. Penman's Aura and Freed from the Real. If you get those on Kinnan, it's pretty much done. You got Rhystic Study, a Gemstone Caverns, and a Preordain. This goes back to that Scry and then Draw, which is going to allow you to set yourself up for the win combo. So Kinnan is a pretty simple deck. Like I said, the whole strategy is to get that infinite mana, use Kinnan's ability to cycle through your entire library, pull out Walking Ballista, and anything else you think you might need to win the game, and then you just either use Walking Ballista's ability or you just swing out for lethal. So Kinnan is a really cool deck. It can go off extremely early, and I'd recommend you try it out. You can build this deck basically CEDH for not a lot of money. I mean, you can take out some of the bigger cards. Like, you don't necessarily need Gemstone Caverns in there. If you took that out, that would knock another like $40 off, 10% of the deck. So, yeah, Kinnan, awesome deck. Hope you guys enjoyed. The deck list will be in the comment section with all of the cards, and the link will be in there. If you like this video, go ahead and throw a like. Let me know what you think in the comments of what do you think of this deck. Do you think it's good? And what would you change, if anything? If you're not subscribed, I'd appreciate if you do that. And until next time, I'll catch you later.